Thank you. When Pastor Kelly asked me a few weeks ago to preach the offering, I had that deer in the headlights look, that like, I don't know if I can do that. And then I said yes out of faith because I told God whatever he opened up to me, I'd do. And what she didn't know in that moment was that for the last 4 months, I've been practicing offering talks in my bedroom at home. And so when she was talking tonight about being prepared, I was like, whoa, I understand that, and I didn't expect to be here tonight, but just the fact that I am, it's just such an honor. And so I don't know if she's in the room, but thank you, wherever you are. I love you too. Okay. But what I wanted to share with you is just a really cool story. It's one of my favorite stories in the Bible tonight about bringing an offering. But before I do that, I have a question for you. Has anyone here ever brought the worst gift to a birthday party or any sort of party? Anyone? Okay, I've done that. And it's incredibly awkward. I don't really remember the situation. I don't remember the gift. And I don't really remember who it was, like who the party was for. But I remember the feeling, the dread in my stomach as I realized that not only was she going to open this gift, but everyone else was going to see. And this is a feeling in my life that I generally try to ignore. I'm like, I don't need to remember that. I can move on. But the story in the Bible brings that back to me. But there's a reason it's my favorite. So you might be like, that's kind of weird, but just bear with me for a second. You see, in Mark 12, Jesus is sitting across from the temple, and he's watching people bring their gifts to the house of God. And it says all these rich people were bringing in these large sums of money. And this one poor widow came in with 2 small copper coins. Now, Jesus goes on to say that her gift was the best because she, out of her poverty, gave all she had to live on while everyone else was giving out of their abundance. And that's great, but just sit there with me and think about this widow. Here she is with 2 small copper coins. In my Bible, it says it was worth about a cent, which means I'm holding double right now with 2 pennies. This was everything. This was her food. It was her shelter. It was her provision. It was her future. And she gave it in faith to the house of God. But then on the other side of that, I believe that there must have been a moment when she was walking to the temple, looking at her gift, saying, God, this isn't that big. It's not that great. I don't know what difference it'll make. But the reason I love this story is because 2,000 years later, her faith and her gift is still inspiring generosity in the church today. She couldn't bring what she wanted to the house of God today, but because of her faith, her gift has been multiplied billions of times over. And in that moment, she must have thought, I don't know if this is a great gift, but we can look back and say, girl, that was a great gift. And so today, I'm sure that there are many of you in this room, when you have a dream in your heart and you're saying, God, I wish I could be generous, because I believe that every person here wants to be generous. But sometimes we look down at the gifts in our hands and we're like, God, I don't know what difference it'll make. I don't know whose lives it'll impact. I don't know if it's really even going to help. And I can tell you that a gift, no matter how big or how small, when we give it with faith in Jesus, that can change eternal destinies for generations and generations and generations. We have an opportunity to give today, and so I'm going to pray, and the band has an amazing song. And then we're going to give, and lives will be changed because of what happens here tonight. So I'm going to pray. Jesus, thank you so much for all these beautiful women, and thank you that you use our gifts even when to us we don't know the impact that they're going to have. God, I ask that you would grow our faith tonight, that you would multiply our gifts, and that you just bless each person here. In your name, amen.